After 20 days sidelined by injury, Caitlyn Clark returned and picked the perfect target, revenge against the undefeated New York Liberty. And just like that, it looked like she never left.
Clark, another long three. She's back!
This might have been Caitlyn Clark's best performance yet. NBA range threes, broken records, and a level of brilliance the WNBA's never seen before. And the first time she brought it up the court, she wasted no time, dropping a perfect dime that set the tone for the night.
For her last two. Nicely done to get it inside to Mitchell. Those two have such a great connection, especially when Kelsey...
The connection was instant, and that same chemistry showed up again when she found Aaliyah Boston in the post.
Great rebounding team this season.
Same in transition. Boston was already on the move. She knew exactly what was coming.
This is one thing you get with Clark is great pace and great passes. Found Boston perfectly.
A dime straight out of a quarterback's playbook that made 3 assists with 3 minutes left in the first. But Caitlyn hadn't even scored yet, until she changed that in style.
Clark last played for Indiana against New York, and now she takes it in off glass and has a chance for a three-point play.
She put a top-tier defender on skates and finished with the N1. Now that's CC magic. And well, with 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the first, that magic would do something that would change not only this game, but WNBA history.
Cunningham is down behind the play, but they've got
a deep pull-up, and it didn't stop there. It sparked something unstoppable.
two players with incredible
The commentator was speechless after that one, back to back, and this one even deeper than the last. But wait, it didn't even stop it there.
Clark, another long three. She's back!
3 threes in under a minute to close the quarter, and 2 of them were from over 30 feet. That's at least 6 feet beyond the NBA line. That's not just deep, that's Curry range. And just so you don't forget, she had been out for 20 days before this. No warm-up, no easing in, just straight fire. And with the Liberty daring to leave her open to start the second, it was a no-brainer. The streak wasn't done yet.
Start second in a row, and Clark stays red hot.
Even her practice shot after the foul didn't touch the rim. That's how locked in she was, sitting on 4 threes and 17 points while the rest of her team hadn't made a single field goal. Luckily, she was more than ready to carry the load.
Traffic. And then steps back with the three over Brianna Stewart.
This isn't a video game. Caitlyn Clark just knocked down 5 straight threes in the first half, including 3 bombs in just 38 seconds. And with Lexi Hull catching fire too.
Hull left open momentarily and she nailed it.
The Fever were suddenly chasing a new franchise record for made threes. But Liberty's number 5, Natasha Cloud, wasn't having it. She pulled out the dirty playbook to knock Caitlyn out of her rhythm.
And now a whistle is...
Unfortunately, this kind of physical targeting has become a theme in the WNBA, but luckily, not even that could stop Caitlyn tonight.
Sharon. Clark trying to answer, and indeed she does.
And with all that shooting, you might forget, she's an elite passer too.
Floor. Oh, behind the back action. Oh, from the corner.
But just when you thought the pass was the highlight, she outdid herself again, drilling yet another 3 to close the half.
Caitlyn Clark. Feeling the three.
This was hands down the best first half of her young WNBA career, single-handedly keeping the Fever in the game, shooting a ridiculous 66% from deep, and making sure the Liberty felt every bit of her presence. But there was one problem the Fever just couldn't shake: missing open layups.
Howard gets it to Clark, another perfect pass to Hull.
Caitlyn could have had a double-double by halftime, but her teammates kept fumbling the easiest shots. Luckily, Caitlyn dug into her bag and started showing out on defense too.
Taken away by Clark, that's off of Stewart, so Indiana basketball.
Luckily, halfway through the third, the engine finally started to rev for the Fever. Her teammates began finding rhythm.
For some options, Hull spots up for 3 and hits it.
First, Hull knocked down a clutch 3. Then Aaliyah Boston went to work in the paint.
until last night. This run. Oh, that's a nice little fake by Boston.
And now, with defenders worried about the pass, Caitlyn Clark flipped the script, attacking the basket with purpose.
Caitlyn challenged Sophie and won it.
She was in a total flow state, calm, locked in, untouchable, and even with a defender draped all over her, she rose up and drilled her 7th three of the night.
Clark nails it. A 17-0 run.
This is why you buy a ticket, nights like this. And if you want to see Caitlyn Clark live, grab your seats with code THEWNBA on SeatGeek for a nice little discount. Don't miss it. She was already sitting on a big 30, and there was still a quarter and a half to play. But guess who was right back on her tail?
Cloud and Clark have had some nice confrontations.
Caitlyn got rewarded with a trip to the line, and Cloud, she got a seat on the bench. But even with the game settling down, Lexi Hull was out here going for the hat trick.
Kind of like a hockey line change. Off the inbounds.
Her 3rd missed layup of the night. And when I tell you how many assists Caitlyn ended the night with, you'll understand just how sour this really was. Luckily, Lexi Hull redeemed herself midway through the 4th.
Clark. And then a perfect bounce pass with Hull working the baseline.
Caitlyn made it look effortless, and when she started dribbling literal circles around the defense, you just knew this game was over.
Killing some more clock, and maybe the dagger. Kelsey Mitchell lighting it up here in the 4th quarter. And Indiana.
In the final 2 minutes, the Fever held their ground and secured the W.
And at guard from Iowa, wearing number 22, Caitlyn Clark.
After 222 days, Caitlyn Clark is back, and it looked like she never left.
For Brazil, here's Clark. Wow! You bet! From beyond the logo! And a little point afterwards!
Her longest 3 yet in her preseason debut of year 2. Absolutely insane. Even with a minor left thigh injury, there was no way Caitlyn Clark was missing a sold-out crowd in her old Iowa nest. And with the Fever's new signings on board, you could feel it. This game against Brazil was going to be something special. And from the jump, it took just 30 seconds. First possession, first shot, like she never left.
Salino can't finish. Here comes Clark in transition. Clark, pull up 3. You bet!
And it didn't take long for her partner in threes, Kelsey Mitchell, to follow suit.
Mitchell, why not?
It was clear her teammates didn't slack in the offseason, and CC rewarded that effort.
Eyes up, finding Boston on a dime. Able to finish on the follow.
However, it wasn't all sunshine. There was a little rust, both from Caitlyn and her teammates.
Turn. Nice pocket pass. Boston could.
Maybe it was the injury, or the 222 days away, but Caitlyn clearly needed a moment to find her rhythm.
Season. Clark. Off on that one.
Thankfully, the Fever's ball movement was sharp, and the new signing stepped up right on cue.
Dumps it to Boston. Bonner will fire away and knock it down.
That's an area we saw throughout the course of last season.
After a quick muscle activation on the sideline, Caitlyn checked back in and surprised everyone by shining where you'd least expect it.
Next, the option of having Clark on the floor with Sydney Colson so she can play a little bit more off the ball. As you see a great block from Clark there.
Yeah, she wants to try and give Clark.
And on offense, she effortlessly found the open player, reading the floor like she never missed a beat.
Clark bodying inside, wraps a pass. Good movement here. Cunningham. Cunnings! Plus the foul.
The Fever's game plan for the season is clear. Elite ball movement. And with Caitlyn leading the charge.
We will all stand on our heads. I don't know exactly what that means, but I do know they were excited about her still being there.
And that didn't take all too long.
Clark hit her first attempt from 3 as 3 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. 9 points for Kelsey Mitchell. Clark. What up?
She ended the first with a 3 and came right back to start the second with another one.
Opening quarter. Kelsey Mitchell with 9 points. Clark, a bomb. It's good!
3 threes already, and her vision was just as sharp, even when her teammates couldn't always finish the plays.
What a pass. Timpson.
Caitlyn was threading passes like a vet.
Clark in a crowd comes down with it. An Olay pass. Timpson gets down.
And the Fever's ball movement was on another level. Crisp, unselfish, and relentless. Everyone was getting involved.
Turner over to Hull. She got it. Another 3 for Indiana, their 9th of the half.
You've seen Indiana go with a variety of small
But Caitlyn didn't just rely on the ball movement.
thing they have on the floor.
Clark drives, stops, and lays. 11 points for Caitlyn Clark in this first half.
The crowd was loving every second, and the Brazil squad seemed to fan out, but Caitlyn wasn't handing out any mercy.
Here today, the number of already.
They're 11 of 15 as Howard, 3 is off for Queiroz. Here comes Clark. Down the floor, touchdown! Clark to Bonner.
Caitlyn came to put on a show, and as the Fever's lead grew, it became clear Brazil didn't stand a chance.
Here's Clark. Clark on the drive, gets to the cup. 13 for Caitlyn Clark in this first half.
With a 46-point lead heading into halftime, the game was no longer competitive, but that didn't stop CC from putting her full game on display.
Here's Clark. Off the turnover, Clark dishes, Boston floats it in.
But it was still a process for her teammates, getting used to those lightning-quick dimes coming their way.
Back from Mitchell, Clark. Extra feed, Boston leaves it short.
So, every now and then, Caitlyn took matters into her own hands.
Catch, attack, floater is good. Here's Clark. Oh, what a look. Mitchell the extra feed, and Boston is fouled.
But her best moment of the game was still on the way. In the meantime, the dimes kept coming in.
And here comes Clark. Clark backdoor, nice find, and the layup is good. Strong finish from Ejim on the dime from Clark.
Not only a great baseline.
With just seconds left in the third, Caitlyn decided to do something she has never done before.
Clark, wow! Whoopi from beyond the logo, and a little point afterwards. She knows how to spark the crowd.
A 36-foot bomb, her longest 3 ever in her very first game back. You can't make this up. Pure Caitlyn Clark magic. That would be her final appearance of the night, ending it on the perfect high note. 16 points, 4 threes, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds. Year 2 is already looking insane, and I'll be right here bringing you all the latest. Stay tuned.
Of teams.
Clark at Howard. Ooh, left that one too strong, and she took one. Nobody for Dallas gets back, and then a very late. Got a good look there, just couldn't knock it down. Hand on the other end. Rebound Dantas. Here comes Clark, and that's got to be transition taken. It is.
They had no choice but to try and stop her like this, because this wasn't just any game. This was the night Caitlyn Clark put up a career-high 35 points, leaving defenders scrambling to keep up.
Indiana will reset. Clark fire away. You bet. Come on.
Even with this scoring streak, Caitlyn started the game as a team player.
They average 11 offensive rebounds a game, one of the best in the league.
Clark frees up Boston for 2 more.
After setting the tone with her playmaking, Caitlyn couldn't resist testing out her jumper.
Clark on a step back, buries a 3.
It's just a little bit.
With the first one hitting nothing but net, Caitlyn wasn't done, going for the back-to-back shot.
Catch and shoot, and knocks down her second 3.
Very well executed. executed for Caitlyn Clark.
But on her third attempt, the defense closed in hard and she drew the foul, earning herself a trip to the line.
Go. She is fouled. Well, there are 3-pointers.
Later on, she drove into the paint, embracing the contact and finishing strong at the rim.
Way through, finds an opening and banks it home.
She wanted that foul call, but the refs weren't giving it. That didn't faze her, though. She answered back in the best way possible.
Clark, fire away. You bet.
That's 3 for 3 from deep, and just 4 points away from hitting an all-time rookie high. The pressure was on, but Caitlyn kept playing her game. With 14 points already on the board, Caitlyn decided to share some of the spotlight.
Around the rim, McCowan does, from 2-point range.
Mitchell sidesteps Agumbo-Wale and buries it.
Kelsey was more than ready, and with their chemistry, the duo started clicking right away. Even Aaliyah Boston got in on the action.
A needed bucket there to stop the bleeding for Dallas. Indiana had gone up 5 in the
Refusing to let up on either end of the floor. This trio was proving to be a force,
Mitchell backdoor lays it in.
keeping the pressure on and building a lead that had the crowd on their feet. The momentum was all Indiana's, and Dallas knew they had to put a stop to it. Unfortunately, they chose the dirty way to get there.
Clark at Howard. Ooh, left that one too strong, and she took quite a tumble on the way down.
Caitlyn took a hard hit on a drive, a clear attempt to throw her off her rhythm, but instead of backing down, she came back stronger, determined to keep her team ahead.
Clark shaking off Sheldon. Hits a deep 2.
Coming out of the half, the score was back to even, but Caitlyn was ready to let her game do the talking.
Screen, mid-range jumper.
But Clark right back to Boston, who got inside position on
But when she drove again, she was met with even more contact.
backing in Sheldon. Clark trying to spin around her. There's a foul first.
She finally drew the foul, but this little bit of resistance showed that Dallas wasn't going to make it easy for her. They were determined to disrupt her rhythm, but Caitlyn stayed locked in, unfazed.
Zune trying to frustrate Clark. Oh, but Clark with 3 more.
With that 3, she not only tied the game at 78, but also officially broke the all-time rookie scoring record. The crowd erupted, witnessing history in real time as Caitlyn etched her name in the books. Right on cue, the Wings struck again, another hard foul at the rim. This time, the refs had to take a closer look. After reviewing the play, they called it a flagrant foul. It was clear that Dallas was pulling out all the stops to try to slow her down, but Caitlyn wasn't backing down.
Final 5 seconds. Oh, no.
But with Lexi Hull missing a wide-open layup and Fagbinley fumbling the ball, Caitlyn took matters into her own hands.
Clark hangs and finishes.
She drove straight to the rim, weaving through defenders, showing everyone why she's the go-to player. She wasn't just playing for points. She was playing to carry her team, refusing to let missed opportunities hold them back. When stopping her at the rim wasn't enough, the Wings got creative, trying to get physical with her at every opportunity. But each time Caitlyn took a hit, she came back stronger, using every bit of contact as fuel.
Green. Clark launches. Hits a 3.
With the clock winding down and the game still hanging in the balance, Caitlyn was just 2 points shy of her career high. 4 minutes left, and every possession mattered.
Ball screen.
Clark. Yes!
And then she did it. Caitlyn Clark hit her career high mark, breaking new ground with a dazzling shot. The crowd erupted, and the momentum was all Indiana's. But Dallas wasn't backing down. They resorted to a hard shove in transition.
Here comes Clark, and that's gotta be transition taken. It is.
With a trip to the line, Caitlyn brought her total up to 33 points. And in those final 2 minutes, clutch time, she shifted gears, setting up her teammates with pinpoint passes.
Mitchell catch and shoot. Buries a 3.
First, Mitchell nailed a shot, and then Dantas sank a crucial corner 3.
No whistle either way. Dantas corner 3. Knocks it down.
A few free throws and a late ejection for the Wings later. Caitlyn closed out the game with 35 points, her highest scoring game of her rookie season. And with that, the Fever secured a gritty win over the Dallas Wings. When Caitlyn Clark showed she's the WNBA's chosen one.
Isolation here for Mitchell. Clark, another one. What is happening right now?
On June 8th, Caitlyn Clark added another chapter to her Rookie of the Year campaign with a career-high performance against the Washington Mystics. But as much as she dazzled, this game got a lot closer than anyone expected.
Charity stripe into Dolson. Samuelson the 3. That falls. 7.5 to play.
Caitlyn started the game with her usual aggressiveness, blowing past her defender with a quick step, only to be met by help defense in the paint. Trusting her vision, she dished it off to a teammate for what seemed like an easy bucket, but things didn't go as planned. Seconds later, Caitlyn took matters into her own hands. No screen, no hesitation, just pure skill. She put her defender in a blender with some quick dribbles and finished with a smooth layup around the bigger defender. It was the start of something special.
Clark trying to get by. The Mystics defense gets right to the cup and lays it up and in.
With her first points on the board, Caitlyn began to take control. She faked a shot at the three-point line, handing it off to Aaliyah Boston. The fake pulled two defenders onto her, leaving Boston wide open in the paint. One quick pass and a spin move later, Boston had an easy bucket.
Shot at the cup. Boston gets the slip and around Edwards, lays that up.
Then came transition time. One glance was all Caitlyn needed to spot Kelsey Mitchell on the fast break. Too quick for anyone else to catch. A half-court dime from Caitlyn turned into an easy layup for Mitchell.
Quickly up the floor is Mitchell. Beautiful find from Clark as Mitchell lays it up.
But not everything was smooth sailing. Julie Van Loo used some sneaky footwork to poke the ball away from Caitlyn, turning it into a turnover. Van Loo then punished the Fever with an instant pull-up three, keeping the game close.
Van Loo comes up with the steal. She'll call her own number and splash that home. Ties it at 13.
On the next possession, the pressure was back on Caitlyn. A defender's swipe nearly caused another turnover, but Caitlyn recovered quickly. With two defenders closing in, she pulled off a step-back three from the logo, draining it and leaving the crowd buzzing.
Picked up now by Dee Richards as she's into the ball game. Richards on the floor. Clark, the step-back three just below the logo, drills it.
Still in the first quarter, Caitlyn got the ball after a Mystics turnover and turned on the Jets. With a 2-on-1 situation, she patiently waited for the defender to commit before dishing it off to Nalissa Smith for an easy layup.
Gets it to her on the move. Beautiful two-person game.
And it wasn't just on offense where Caitlyn was making an impact. She showed her defensive chops by getting a steal and immediately pushing the ball in transition, trusting her teammates to finish the play.
She's made in tonight's game. Wheeler, little in-out dribble. Gets that lay-in to go.
Seeing she could rely on her squad, Caitlyn decided to flex her playmaking skills. She threaded the ball between two defenders, setting up Smith for a wide-open three on the wing.
Still with it. The kick, Smith will call her number and knock it down. Stretching the floor is Nalissa Smith.
Next play, Caitlyn's defense shined again with another steal. She put the burners on in transition, but the defense caught up, forcing her to slow down. She reset the play, ignored the defense, and drove into the paint. Spying Aaliyah Boston wide open under the rim, she went for the easy dime, only to have it swiped away at the last moment. But Caitlyn wasn't one to shy away. Not long after, she got free with some slick, off-the-ball movement, using a screen to get open for a moving, leaning three-pointer. Nothing but net.
Pulls off that screen, knocks it down. Even with her body fading, she can still control that shot.
Well, she comes off in a snaking manner on that weak side.
With her confidence sky high, Caitlyn found herself in another transition play. This time, she pulled up from the logo without hesitation, but it didn't connect. The game was tight at 40-40, with 28 seconds left in the second quarter. Caitlyn forced her way to the basket, drawing a foul and sinking both free throws to give the Fever a slim lead heading into the half. The second half started with a bang, but it wasn't Caitlyn. Mitchell got open on the wing, and Caitlyn delivered an easy dime, starting the half with a three-pointer.
He's going for the Mystics on the offensive end now into double figures with 12.
With LSU's coach in the building, Caitlyn had to show she wasn't just reliant on others. She brought the ball up in transition, found a mismatch, and stepped back from deep on the wing, hitting nothing but net.
Clark, pull up three, that one tickles the twine.
2 minutes later, Caitlyn's off-the-ball movement left her wide open at the same spot. No defender in sight. She pulled up for a back-to-back three, and it was good again.
He's showing up, showing out.
Clark,
With the third quarter winding down, a minute left on the clock, Caitlyn took control. She went coast to coast, putting her defender on skates with a behind-the-back move, pulling up just before the three-point line and draining her third three in a row.
On in that paint. So the best thing you can do as a defender is not give it to her.
Clark. Back-to-back triples for Caitlyn Clark.
10 seconds later, Caitlyn was at it again. With 23 seconds left, she got free off the ball, found herself wide open at the top of the key, and pulled up for a fourth three-pointer. It was another swish, until the refs called an illegal screen, spoiling the hot streak. Even with this insane effort, the Fever only had a 2-point lead. Going into the fourth, the Mystics tightened up their defense on Caitlyn, but she trusted her teammates, setting up Samuelson for a three-pointer.
Samuelson at the buzzer.
Oh my.
But Caitlyn wasn't done. Off an inbound pass, she got free with no screen, pulled up with a step-back jumper from the wing, and continued her hot streak.
Wasn't going to be able to see Katie Lou after last night's game, so today, really the first time they're seeing her.
The Caitlyn special kept rolling. Another off-the-ball movement got her open at her favorite spot, and without hesitation, she pulled up for her fifth three-pointer in a row.
Isolation here for Mitchell.
Clark, another one.
She was now at 7 threes and 25 points in total, but the Mystics weren't backing down, keeping the game within 2 points. The Fever needed to hold on to their lead, and Caitlyn wasn't shying away from the moment. She attacked the basket, drawing contact and earning 2 clutch free throws.
Right there, a little jersey pull. They do. Well, that's what on the baseline and turn her back out to the corner.
The Mystics responded quickly in transition, cutting the lead back to 2.
And the foul. They're going to wave it off actually initially.
But it wasn't enough. Caitlyn capped off the night with a 30-point bomb.
Time.
Caitlyn Clark shut her haters up once again.
She's Rookie of the Month, Player of the Month, back-to-back Player of the Week.
She's collecting awards like kids collect candy on Halloween. But is it all enough to clinch a WNBA playoff spot? Tonight, Caitlyn proved why she should be MVP, dropping her 103 of the season, fastest in WNBA history, and, just for good measure, pulling off her second career triple-double, sending the crowd into a frenzy.
It's up, it won't go, Clark pulls it down, and this building knows what that means.
She started the game the way she always does, coming in hot. Right out the gate, Caitlyn put her defender on skates, pulled up for a 3, and bricked it. But the Sparks had their priorities straight. Don't let Caitlyn get in her bag. They blitzed her on the screen, sending the double like she was the one holding the lottery ticket.
Dallas too, and that's an over and back on Indiana.
After 2 minutes of ugly basketball, Caitlyn finally broke the seal, dishing a laser to Kelsey Mitchell, who zoomed to the rim for the easy layup.
Break, and you can't let Kelsey Mitchell get going because she has been phenomenal in the last 7 games.
On the other end, Dorica Hamby went to work down low, flexing her post moves and getting the Sparks on the board.
She's pulling away a big lead in that category.
The game started as messy as your friend's 3-on-3 at the local gym. Sloppy passes, turnovers, just plain bad basketball. But then, Kelsey Mitchell decided it was time to stop playing around. She put her defender in the blender, hit a smooth jumper, and got the Fever rolling.
In her career.
Here's Mitchell putting on the moves, and Mitchell, this has been quite a heater for Kelsey Mitchell. The leading scorer in the Eastern Conference out of the...
Caitlyn wasn't about to let that moment pass her by. She cooked that same defender again and pulled up for one of her trademark step-back threes.
Step back, hits a 3.
There's always a different energy in the building.
Fast forward to the next play. Caitlyn's in transition. She's slicing and dicing through the defense like she's in a video game. Changes pace, hits the lane, and
showing off the moves, Clark
smokes the layup. Even the best have their moments. Meanwhile, the Sparks weren't exactly sitting quietly. They kept answering back, and after 2 and 1 layups, they took the lead.
NBA as Odyssey Sims gets inside and finishes. They are prone to pull off the upset.
While the Fever racked up turnovers like they were going out of style. Coach called a quick timeout, and out of the huddle, Caitlyn was back in kill mode. Ignoring the screen like it didn't even matter, she barreled straight to the hoop and finished strong over Odyssey Sims.
The hesitation, Clark gets inside and lays it in.
17-12 for the Fever now, and Kelsey Mitchell kept the pressure on with a bucket of her own.
Mitchell, catch and shoot, whistle there, 2, hit a 3. And let's check on where this foul is.
The Sparks hit a 3 to get right back in it though. And with the Fever making more sloppy mistakes, LA hit back-to-back triples to take the lead.
Burrell, who's just checked in, and Nurse dials up the 3.
21-18. 30 seconds left in the quarter, and Caitlyn wasn't about to let that slide. They cleared the floor, went ISO, and let Caitlyn go to work.
On the baseline, knocking it down from the mid-range.
That's a beautiful mid-range.
In the second quarter, the Sparks came out with energy, blowing by Caitlyn on a drive, leaving her behind like she missed the bus.
You can say that about the Indiana Fever.
But of course, Caitlyn wasn't going to let that go unanswered. She drove straight into the heart of the defense.
Upset win here in May. Clark draws the foul.
Drew a foul, and calmly sank both free throws. Then, on the next play, she set up Dantas perfectly off the pick and roll for a wide open bucket.
Clark on the bounce, Dantas charging inside and finishing.
But here comes Kia Nurse, proving she's got the hot hand tonight. She drained a 3, then came back with a filthy step-back midi that had the Fever fans biting their nails.
Nurse stepping back and rattles that one home. So Kia.
With a couple more Fever turnovers, the Sparks brought it all the way back to 31-30 midway through the second. And they didn't stop there. Burrell came in off the bench and dropped another triple. And all of a sudden, the Sparks were up.
Now LA's starting to make shots.
The Fever needed an answer, and fast. Kelsey Mitchell was ready for the challenge, pulling up for a 3 that splashed through the net like a stone in a pond. But the Sparks weren't done. They were on fire, hitting another from downtown.
And Stevens answers with a 3.
It seemed like the Fever couldn't stop them. Caitlyn got doubled near half court again, but somehow she rifled a bullet pass between 2 defenders, threading the needle to Aaliyah Boston for an easy 2.
Good feed into Boston with deep position.
Yet the Sparks still couldn't miss. Steven got left open at the top of the key, twice, and hit back-to-back 3s that left the Fever looking helpless.
Again, doing her best.
6 threes in a quarter and a half. LA was cooking. The score sat at 42-37, and Indiana was in trouble. But with 2 minutes left in the second quarter, the Fever started to get it together. They made smart cuts and took advantage of mismatches, clawing their way back to within 1. Then, with the clock winding down, Boston hit a buzzer-beating layup to bring the Fever into halftime.
That's impressive.
Oh, Clark, beautiful find to a cutting Boston.
The third quarter started off rocky. The Sparks came right back with their Caitlyn double team, forcing another turnover.
Clark bouncing for Boston and gives it right back.
But Kelsey Mitchell wasn't having it, taking matters into her own hands.
On the drive, turns the corner and gets to the rim.
Forget about it. She gets to that left hand.
Nalissa Smith followed suit, working hard down low to put the Fever back in the lead.
The Olympic break, Smith going one-on-one, attacking Hamby and winning the back.
But it was like they had a blind spot for Steven. Once again, she was left wide open, and once again, she made them pay.
Here's Stevens lining up a triple.
The Sparks' game plan was all about making Caitlyn work for every inch. They blitzed her off every screen, forcing her to give up the ball.
There's that blitz. That's the way I would have started. Kurt Miller has his team blitz, and it results in Aaliyah Boston getting a layup.
Then came the Caitlyn Clark special. She hit a cold-blooded crossover into a step-back 3.
Clark crossing over and dropping a 3.
Nailing her 100th triple of the season, the fastest player in WNBA history to reach that mark. And she wasn't done. She immediately followed it up by picking the Sparks' pockets, flying down the court for an easy transition layup.
And Chase, she won't get there.
It's just a different energy in the building.
She was heating up now, and everyone knew it. Caitlyn attacked again, taking it right to the rim for her 3rd bucket in a row.
Drive, Clark hangs and banks it home.
So much better going downhill.
Single-handedly bringing the Fever to a 60-55 lead. The Sparks answered with a pull-up 3 from Nurse. But Caitlyn wasn't about to be outdone. She drained a 3 of her own, like a mic drop to end the third quarter with a 4-point lead.
Trying to answer, you bets.
So good.
By the time the fourth quarter rolled around, Tyrese Halliburton was on the sidelines looking like a kid at Christmas, loving every second of the show. The Sparks bench kept them alive, with Burrell nailing another 3. But Caitlyn kept reading the defense like a book, dishing the ball out to Boston for an easy bucket after every double team.
Boston spinning inside, right around McDonald.
Beautiful move.
And then Caitlyn really started to cook. Sims couldn't handle her off the dribble, and Caitlyn made her pay with a filthy crossover into another step-back three. The crowd going wild.
It's a three!
The Sparks were making mistakes left and right, and Caitlyn punished them every time. This time, she pulled off a behind-the-back pass to Boston, who finished with a bucket so easy it might as well have been a layup drill. But Burrell wasn't done, hitting her third three of the night. Yet, it felt like everyone in the building came to show off their range, including Kelsey Mitchell, who knocked down a three of her own.
So that's a deep two, but she connects. She's now 2 shy of 20.
As the clock ticked down, Hamby went on a personal run, dropping 8 points in a single minute, bringing the game back within 3.
Attacking Boston, spin move, floats it up, gets it to go, and a foul for De'Erica Hamby.
The Sparks were close, but Nalissa Smith shut the door on them with a massive block on Hamby that felt like a statement.
There by Boston, inside for Hamby, sent back. Nalissa Smith closes the door at the rim.
With just 3 minutes left, Caitlyn was on the verge of another triple-double, needing 1 assist and 2 rebounds. Sims tried one last gasp, stealing the ball from Caitlyn and finishing an and-one layup, bringing the game back to 3 points with 2 minutes to go. But the Fever stayed steady. Boston went to work in the paint, bullying her way to the basket for the clutch buckets that sealed the deal. And then, with 25 seconds left, the Sparks launched a desperation three that clanged off the rim. Caitlyn snatched the rebound, completing her second career triple-double, and the crowd lost their minds.
It's up, it won't go, Clark pulls it down, and this building knows what that means.
The Fever had clinched the playoffs, and Caitlyn Clark had made history. Again.